Hello, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and across the river from downtown Shreveport is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana, and I'm so excited. So I have some penne pasta. I have I uh, had a free day on Saturday from my diet because I went to a Halloween party, and so that's cool. But since Saturday evening, I've been uh, really dieting very, very well, very keto. But at this point, it's like it's uh, early Tuesday morning, uh, so I'm due for some carbs, and I'm feeling it. Um, so I'm allowing myself some penne pasta, and what I have here is what I did was I took some chicken legs, put them in a pot uh, with this is so weird. I wanted to go very creative with this. Um, I wanted because I didn't have tortilla, but this very Spanish in flavors, you know, um, you know, very salsa in the sauce, some enchilada seasonings, some tacos, anything that I could put together, to get that Spanish flair. And I put uh, the drumsticks in the pan and just let them go in the pot on top of the stove as if it were a slow cooker for probably about 2.5 hours on. I got it up to, I brought it up to temperature, and then I turned it back down to a medium, uh, like a medium low, on the medium low side of the dial. I don't like to go above a medium uh, in my cookware because it's nonstick. It's a triple Teflon coated and will last for a very long time. I'm not worried about the sticky factor because the food won't stick. But I do not want Teflon to flake off and separate into the food. And so Teflon will break down if the pot gets too hot. So if you're going to go for a while, uh, then you really just don't want to go over a medium heat. But that's hot enough in the pot that I use. And then of course in a separate little boiler, I did the some of the penne pasta, and then what is the cheese? I shredded on here as a garnish. Um, Basically, there's just some green herb for garnish, but the cheese is a maple wine cheddar, and it's very delicious. And yeah, it's great. It really just sets it off. And um, this is a very simple recipe. Do your own favorite Spanish flavors um, in liquid form, of course, because then you can deal with adding like less water. I add just enough water to just start out, maybe like um, half a cup to the bottom of the pan before I put the other ingredients in for the chicken. And then of course the this pasta here is great. It's a drain no rinse on pasta because if you drain rather than rinse your pasta, um, your sauces will cling to your pastas a little better. you know. And of course, there's no. I didn't use butter or oil or anything in here because we have um, the natural juices from the chicken that's been rendering for basically 2 hours. And of course, I just did this, but when I have some leftovers tomorrow, it'll be even better because what I'll be able to do is I'll actually be able to skim the top from the from the pot, from the juices of the pot. I'll be able to skim the fat off of it, and so when I rewarm it, it'll be even leaner. And at that point, you either can leave it on the drumstick um, as a leftover. This is the kind of thing that can last for a day or so. Or if you have like some chips, you can like shred it down and make like a chicken um, nacho or something. Or you could make an actual roll up. Take this, roll it up, put it in an enchilada or something. Whatever. If you're one of those people that like black beans, I don't. Then you can take it and put it in your black beans or something. The chicken nuts, whatever. So. Mm. All sorts of things. Anything that you can do, Tex-Mex, Mexican south of the border. You can even use a Mexican style rice. Now, I just had this pasta that I used some of last week for the mac and cheese that I made, and so I wanted to use the rest of the box. So it's a good. Barilla is a really good pasta. Now I know that this is not the same as taking the dough and rolling it out on your table and making it your own. But I'm a single person and I'm not doing all that work for myself and maybe the one or two people that I might have drop in or anything like that. Making my own pasta or whatever. Mm. But if you want to, it's 5 cups of flour. Um, Add the appropriate amount of if you want it to rise. I would maybe go with um, not using self-rising flour, and then you can tone down the amount of salt and the amount of baking soda that you add to it. I would tone it down. I would just go with straight, flour, just all-purpose flour, what you might want to call it, and 5 cups of that to one medium to large size egg. That is all. And you mix that together. 1 egg per 5 cups. And that is a lot of dough. Um, so if you mix that up and roll it out really, 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 really thin into whatever kind of shape that you want it to be in, and it will give you this. It will give you this semolina type pot. This right here, and then if you want to pipe it through something, or you could just whatever. The denser you leave it, if you add a little bit more egg to it, then you come across like an egg noodle type flavor. It's very similar, or an egg noodle is very similar to a dumpling, and it is very similar to a pasta, but the lighter the egg, um, the more pasta. So what you can do if you want to is you can add a little bit of uh, cornstarch as you're rolling it out. Use cornstarch in between the pastas as you roll the thin pieces out and stack them on top of each other. Use cornstarch to keep the pieces from sticking together, and that works quite well until you get around to taking the pasta and putting it in your dish, or as it firms and hardens, where you can separate them. Because you'll have to, in order to get them to be like a hard pasta, you'll basically have to get them somewhere and let them just hang and dry. And, I just don't want pasta hanging all over my my food area. So I'm not making pasta from scratch. Just know that I could if I wanted to. Okay, let's get in here and taste what this chicken looks like. And you can use another type of chicken if you want. I just love the flavor of dark meat chicken with powerful flavors. like when I have like a lot of herbs and seasonings and stuff like that. So you see how this is just like separating from the bone. You want to see that meat start to retract from the bone. That's how you know it's really good and tender. Mm. So I didn't want to chop up a bunch of vegetables. I started using a really good salsa. And to that liquid salsa, and it was a good brand of your favorite brand of salsa to the intensity that you want, hot, medium, mild. To that, add if you can um, some your favorite enchilada sauce. And I had some in a liquid form, enchilada sauce to that. And then just make sure that you keep a lid over the pot so that the fluids, um, the drippings from the chicken as it cooks and everything, uh, will stay in the pot and form a wonderful, wonderful, flavorful sauce. And you can serve it the same day, and then, like I said, the next day. If you uh, take the leftovers out, you won't even have to worry about, you know, clumps of fat getting around your chicken legs or anything like that. If you take them out and store them in a separate container, but then store uh, the juices from the pot in a container separate, like pour it off, then the next day you just flake off the fats that have congealed at the top, and then you have skimmed and made like a really, really lean chicken. So it's really, really great. So you really do not have to worry about, if you're going to have this for a couple of days, like I am. Uh, I won't have the noodles, but I'll have the chicken in various different ways. Um, I won't have to worry about, even though I'm breaking from my diet now because it's time to eat carbs, and you know, uh, yeah, there's no sense in me even trying to justify. I felt starved for carbs, and yeah, so a plate of pasta, a good layer of penne pasta, you know, it is probably it's way more than I would be allowed on a normal keto day. But I just really needed the pasta. The keto, you got to listen to your body, and when your body starts telling you, you know what, it's been a couple of days, and I really, really, uh, you know, uh, need some nourishment, then do that. Then listen to your body, and don't. If you're going to do any sort of like intermittent fasting, anything like that. Sometimes I do. Occasionally, when I've had like a really good day and I need to jumpstart the keto effect, I will fast um, the following day. I didn't quite do that on Sunday, but I did eat a lot less, um, and almost all of it was protein. And I did eat a lot less than I would normally do, so I didn't quite fast, but yeah. Um, Whatever you do, diet wise, and whatever you do physical wise and everything, my best thing to do is to have the person, whoever is going to embark on this kind of thing, um, you know seek out the advice of a qualified nutritionist, nutritionalist or nutritionist. I don't know which is proper. um, I've heard it both ways, but and then also, or a doctor or whatever, and don't have them give you just a offhanded. I mean, pick their brain. If that doctor, you're going to see that doctor's there for you. Ask questions. Take up a few minutes of his time. You know, um, uh, you, I mean, he's going to get paid. So Yeah, and if you're using an insurance and whatever, instead of paying straight up cash, don't feel any less qualified of asking your doctor uh, questions that pertain to what's going on. That's what you need to talk about, physical and stuff like that. If you start heading down a line of questioning that's you know not his jurisdiction, he'll let you know. But seriously, don't you ask. And one of the things, just preventive health. If you're in there seeing your doctor anyway, talk to him about preventive health, and a big part of that is nutrition. And yeah, and they probably could give you some printouts and some suggestions of what to do. One of the things that you can do is you can go to myplate.gov, I do believe, and you can print out. They've changed, and it used to be this pyramid, and they've changed that. They realized that different people have in different parts of the world, they have different taste. They cook in different styles, and because of that, what personal taste, or what is it, even sometimes it comes right down to what is available. um, so I'm eating one chicken leg because I'm having so much pasta, whereas I would be eating, if I had like just a little bit of pasta, then I might be could get away with two or three chicken legs. It's that kind of a balance. If you're eating more carbs, you eat a lot less of everything else. And the best thing to do, if you could eat, you know, and I'm terrible about this because I don't eat enough salad, but if you could eat like very lean sugar, very lean anything, and just get some lettuce and everything, just make a nice salad that's nutritious and um, with some protein on the side of that, and but your salad dressing, what you're garnished with it, everything like that. Make sure that it is low to zero carbs if you can. One of those things, and also, you want the cholesterols. Want to watch the cholesterols. We want good. Some cholesterols are good for us, and then there are some that are just most cholesterols we're really not supposed to be. They're incidental. They're in our food. We can't escape it, but we're not supposed to load up on it. And unfortunately, that's the stuff that tastes really, really delicious. So you know, um, yeah. I hear that avocado is a really good source of good cholesterol, cholesterol that's good for the heart. But that gets negated when we mash it into a guacamole and add other types of flavorings and fats and salts and everything like that, which might which negates the goodness. So I would suggest, if you're an avocado fan, and it's really the only way that I like to eat avocado, is when it's just ripe. When it's just ripe, and just take it out and carve it and put a little bit of the avocado on your plate. Let that be it. And when it softens, then you can mash it up and make your guacamole with it and everything like that. But I don't really care for guacamole, and I know that's horrible of me to say. I'm not supposed to say that. But I don't know. But I don't mind a fresh garnish of avocado. One of these days, I should get an avocado. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll do that over Thanksgiving or whatever, just to have a little fun with it. I know some ways to like garnish some fruits and vegetables that are really interesting and fun from my days as a garde manger. The guard of the manger, so to speak, in the kitchen. Because the salads and sauces and everything like that, they look like they're in a manger, so it looks like you're guarding the manger. That's why they garde manger. It's French. Ooh la la. Anyway, let me let you go so I can get back to concentrating on my food. Look out for sometime uh, late Saturday night, early Sunday. I will be talking about the production of Tosca that I'm going to see being performed by the Shreveport Opera Company. And it's the first time I've been over there in a few years. It's just, it's for me. I enjoy those things, but I enjoy experiencing them with other people, and I'll be with a few, I, one of the people they've already gotten their tickets, and it's like you know one of the people, kind of part of our little group, they've already gotten theirs, and then a couple of us are waiting until the day before to get ours. Uh, just so that some of us can like sit together. That way we don't have like one person just off sitting by himself or whatever. Even if we can't all sit on the same row, but I think we're all going to try to aim for the same section. So and that's kind of cool. And I'll talk a little bit about that experience. Tosca's a really great opera. Um, if you can't get to one, you certainly can look it up and you can read about it. It's a fascinating story, and you know, uh, and then of course when you get on YouTube and stuff, you can see performances. I'm not gonna be doing much performance within that, within that scene because oh my god, uh, for the kind of money that I'm spending, I want to be able to have like the experience. But we'll be in the balcony, so that's kind of cool. And I think I'm gonna try to get us like balcony, like front, front balcony. I think you know, it's basically about the same price as anything that's left that I could afford or whatever. And I don't like sitting uh, on the floor unless I know I can sit at a comfortable uh, space because it's like I like the incline uh, because I'm shorter. I'm on the shorter side. I'm like 5'8", right? And that's being kind. Uh, Even though I sit well enough. Your sitting height might actually be different. I mean, there are people who are very much taller than I am, and we sit together, and oh my God, our heads and our line of sight almost eye to eye. But when we stand, the person might be like a whole half a head taller than I am. So, the way a person sits, uh, their sitting height may be different than the standing height, if you know what I mean. And if not, it doesn't matter. It's just about I don't want to look over people's heads trying to see a show. So I like sitting where the seats are somewhat inclined and where there's not too many rows of people ahead of me because it's like, oh my god, sir, would you move your big melon out of the way? And he can't help it if you know what I mean. There's always like when you're sitting and you ever do that to sit behind someone and it's like they can't help it, but it's like, oh my god, just their being there is obstructing the view, and it's like, yeah. Okay. Love and light, everybody. Truly, I love you. Peace. Good night. Come see us in Shreveport, Bossier.